as they wear out before the piston wears, and these can be replaced easily with nominal cost. Piston rings are of two types. First is the compression control rings, and the second is oil control rings. Compression rings seal the gases in combustion chamber, whereas holes present in oil control rings scrape away excessive oil from cylinder wall. Piston rings are made of alloy iron castings. Total number of piston rings on a piston may be from 3 to 7. The piston ring gap is 1 mm per 200 mm diameter of piston. In this picture, you can view the two types of piston rings. The top two rings are the compression control rings, whereas the third, or the ring at the bottom, is the oil control ring. The oil control ring can be differentiated from compression control ring in such a way that it has holes in it to scrape away excessive oil from the cylinder walls. The left hand side picture is of piston with the connecting rod. In this you can see the piston and the different parts of the piston. The topmost part of the piston is called crown. Then beneath the crown are the rings. On the top are the compression ring, and at the bottom is the oil control ring. Then there is gudgeon pin to which connecting rod is attached, and the bottom of the piston is known as skirt. You can see the connecting rod, and the bottom end of the connecting rod is known as the big end. On the right side you can see the picture of piston, the top view of a piston. This is an exploded view of piston and connecting rod. This again is a cross-sectional view of piston, in which you can notice the different parts of a piston. This is a working model of a piston inside a cylinder. You can have an idea how the valves operate when the piston is moving inside the cylinder. The next components of an IC engine are the manifolds attached to inlet and exhaust ports in the cylinder head. The induction or the inlet manifold provides passage for flow of air and fuel in cylinder through inlet port, whereas exhaust manifold provides passage for outflow of burnt gases from cylinder through the exhaust port. The next important component of engine is the crankshaft. Crankshaft converts reciprocating movement of piston into rotary motion. It is subjected to bending as well as twisting. Crankshaft is supported on main bearings at both ends. The main parts of crankshaft are the journals, crank pin, and webs or cranks. Journals rotate in main bearings and support crankshaft. Crank pin rotates in big end bearing of connecting rod. Webs or cranks act as balance weights. On the rear end of crankshaft, a flywheel is present. Crankshaft is made of forging. The crankshaft is made by forging from carbon steel or nickel chromium steel. This is the internal view of an IC engine, where you can see piston attached to a crankshaft. At the